My mother-in-law wants her daughter to divorce me, so she straight up gaslights her into believing that I cheated. Well, you know what, mother-in-law? There's one little flaw in your plan. You see, the reason she hates me so much is because she wanted her daughter to marry someone else, who, by the way, is the son of a future CEO. So that's why she really wants her daughter to go with him, so she gets money in the long run. However, she doesn't understand, and we're not going to tell her, that specific friend who's going to be the CEO is my best friend that I grew up with. So we're in on the plan, and this story is absolutely crazy.
Hey everyone, I'm new to this community, and I have no idea how this works, but I'll rather just start. I'm George, I'm 29 years of age, and honestly I'm here to express what I've been going through lately because I have no one that I can talk to. And trust me, things have been really bad. So, I've been married for about a year now, and it's been a great relationship. We dated for a very long time before getting married, and we've always had a good understanding and respect for each other. But lately things have been off. So, 3 days back I saw my wife Sarah being all tense, sitting and crying in her room. So I went up to her and asked her if there was anything that was bothering her. She first hesitated, but then finally opened up and said that she believed that I was cheating on her. Initially, I thought that was some kind of joke or something and I laughed it off, but then seeing her that way, I clearly knew that she was not fooling around. She's being serious and that she's frustrated. She shouted at me for the very first time and I was shocked to learn that she didn't trust me. It broke my heart, and I asked her what made her think like this, and she simply said that she just knew that I was being unfaithful to her. I could not understand where this was coming from, and for the last 3 days, she's been talking about the same thing, that I cheated on her and whatnot. I've tried to convince her so many times that I did not, but she's just not ready to listen, and with her tone, she's 100% convinced that I'm cheating on her. I don't know what to do next. I feel like our relationship is on the verge of breaking now, and I have to resolve everything so that I don't end up losing the woman I love. But I was wondering where all this was coming from. So yesterday, while I was getting ready for work, I heard Sarah talking on the phone with somebody, and although I didn't mean to eavesdrop, considering our present scenario, I had to, and to my surprise, the phone was on speaker. It was my mother-in-law, Samantha. I thought that they were, been going through a lot lately and she might have needed her mom. But guess what, I was completely wrong. When I was standing outside of our bedroom, I could clearly hear what they were talking about, and I felt back when Samantha started speaking. I heard how she easily was manipulating Sarah into believing that I was being unfaithful to her and that I was not a good person. Sarah was talking to her mother a lot these days, and she was telling her about the fact that I've started coming late from my workplace, and that I don't pay attention to her anymore, and all that crap. So, Samantha took the best opportunity to gaslight her into believing that I was seeing someone else, and that she should leave me already. It was so hard to accept the fact that, more than me, she trusted her entitled mother, and that despite everything we had, she chose to accuse me of cheating. I so badly wanted to break Samantha's face as per the conversation I heard. She clearly gaslighted Sarah into such an efficient way that now she was not ready to believe me at all. You all can imagine a woman who trusted me the most at one point in time and asked me to leave her alone, and she thought that I was not loyal. I was absolutely heartbroken. Now, I'm sure you all might be wondering why my mother-in-law is so persistent in getting me out of the way, right? Well, let me tell you where all this hatred is coming from. So me and Sarah started dating during our anniversary days, and we were really happy with each other and that we wanted to get married after graduation, but her mother did not agree. Well, I come from a very humble and simple family background where my wife comes from an extremely wealthy family. So obviously there was a huge difference in terms of our background. And Sarah, despite coming from a family like this, is kind-hearted. So one day, she took me to her house where she introduced me to her mom. And from first glance, I understood that Samantha did not like me very much. But yet, I decided to put up with her for Sarah's sake. Whenever I used to visit her place, she always used to give me a side eye and never spoke to me nicely. I'm sure now, it's pretty obvious to you all. Well, she's always asked Sarah whether my family was well-to-do or not, and she used to be doing this on purpose in front of me. I always tried to respect her though, So eventually after graduation, when the both of us started working, we decided to get married, and Samantha just disapproved of the plan, and she announced in front of the entire family that she would have been more grateful if Sarah had chosen someone more wealthy and somebody who could match up to the family. I was devastated upon hearing that, but again I chose to remain silent, as I didn't want to give up on our relationship. Although I was happy about the fact that Sarah chose to take a stand for me and was persistent that she wanted to get married to me. And before all the problems started, she never let her mother's opinion affect us in any way. I'm beyond shocked to see how things are turning out to be. And all the trust and understanding that we share is slowly dissolving away. So I'm trying my best to convince her that I'm not cheating and I still love her, but she's just not ready to listen. But I'm not going to stop unless I make myself believe her. However, I'm not happy about the fact that my mother-in-law is being so interfering. But what I am most worried about is what she's exactly up to. See, I seriously just feel stuck right now. I have no idea what I should do next. I've been trying my best to convince Sarah, but she's just not ready to listen. Sarah's locked herself in the room for the last 3 days and has not eat, drank, or sleep. And I feel so guilty even when I've done nothing. I keep calling her, but she's not answering my phone, and I seriously don't know how Samantha could convince her so easily. When she came out this morning, I held her and asked her to sit with me for a bit. First, she hesitated and finally sat down with me, and I told her I would never cheat on her, and that if she wants evidence, she could come and see my workplace, check my cell phone, anything. She rejected it all, and simply said that she did not believe me and left the room. It was pretty evident that she was clearly not interested in talking to me at the moment. So guys, while I write this to you all, I feel nothing but a sense of confusion. And, this is exactly what's happening, and all of a sudden, it's taking me a while to reach a conclusion. So here I am, asking you all for help. Please let me know what I should do in a situation like this. Shall I talk to Sarah again? Although I don't think that she'll be listening. But what do you think? Shall I try to fix things maybe once again? As for Samantha, I honestly don't even want to look at her at the moment, as she's in no time for manipulating Sarah into making her believe. But also, since I want to know what she's up to, I will have to confront her. Ugh, she's such a crappy woman. Do you all think that I should directly talk to Samantha, or should I just wait? Please let me know, as I could definitely use some help. I'll try my best to keep you all updated if something happens, but for now, goodbye. Update number 1. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're doing well, because clearly I'm not. I'm back here after a week, and I apologize for keeping you all waiting, but things have been really messed up lately. So that made me forget about the update, or anything for that matter. First of all, thank you for the comments and the kind words. All of the comments have really given me the strength, and I'm trying to process what is all going on at the moment. Also, people who are saying that I'm playing the victim card, excuse me? I think it's you who's supposed to get a life. I have no reason to cheat, as I've always been an honest man, and even if I made a mistake, I'll own up to it. So I think it's better that you just keep your opinion to yourself. Anywho, coming back to the update, Sarah asked me for a divorce. Yep, you heard it right. My wife, who's soon going to be my ex-wife, is convinced that I cheated on her with another woman, and now she wants to separate. I cannot believe what's happened to my life in this past week, and I'm not here for it, so as you'll advise me that I should confront Samantha as well regarding what has been going on and all. So I did the same as Sarah, as not ready to listen to anything. So first I tried calling my mother-in-law, but she did not pick up the phone. So I called her again. And this time when she did answer, she tells me not to call her again, or she would, not like to associate with a cheater like me, and she hung up. I was furious. I straight up decided to go to her house and talk to her over there, or maybe as well force her to come out, as I was not able to handle any more pressure. I reached her place and rang that doorbell. She came out and asked me what I wanted. I said I need to talk. First she refused because I was being persistent. She came out eventually. Can you imagine? She did not even have the audacity to invite me in. This is how much she hates my guts. Anyways, without wasting any time in her presence, I asked her why she was doing this to me. Why is she after my life? To which she replied that she had much better things to do, as if she doesn't know what I'm talking about. I asked her why she had been manipulating Sarah into believing that I cheated on her. Guys, you won't believe what she said to me. She said that I could never match the standard Sarah comes from, and that I would never be able to. She admitted that she does not want her daughter to stay with a man who is not rich and cannot afford the luxuries of life. I was heartbroken once again, and I didn't know that she thought this about me before as well, but even after our marriage, not gonna lie, that came as a surprise to me. I used to think that when, she would see her daughter happy in her married life, she would forget everything and support her. But no, I was clearly wrong. I stood there like a dumb fellow while she kept humiliating me as a puppet. Then I asked her to tell me the exact reason as to why she wanted to end our marriage and why she was so desperate. Guys, she just straight up bluntly tells me that Sarah and me would soon get divorced and she had nothing to be scared of, so she'd come clean. She said that she has a friend, Sam, who has a son by the name of Bob, who's going to be successful and succeed his father by bagging his position of CEO in his father's company. Well, this will obviously make him filthy rich, and she's considering that she'll get Sarah to marry him, as he is the better man for her and clearly maintains a financial standard. I was taken back, and I just could not process what she had said. She was gaslighting her to believe that I was cheating on her, only so she could get married to someone richer? Honestly, I'm done at this point, but you guys, I still have hope that Sarah will believe me no matter what. When I tell her what her mother's up to, she'll definitely believe me. Although, even after this entire week, I still feel that I should go and talk to her for one last time. I know you all might be thinking that, well, why I did not just talk to her at the time? Only, well, things have been really hard and she's not ready to listen to me, so one last time it is. Do you think this time it'll be worth it? I'm really nervous. But I also have hope, as she loves me, and just like before, she won't let her mother's opinion affect us. Let's see. I'll try to keep you guys updated if something major happens, but for now, goodbye. Update number 2. Oh boy. Hey guys, it's me again. I'm here for an update. Well, just buckle your seatbelts. I hope you're doing well. I tried to convince Sarah for the one last time, but unfortunately I failed. She's not ready to listen to me anymore, and now I'm left with no patience at all. I'm back here after 4 days to let you all know that I have a decision finally. I'm going to divorce Sarah, as there's no point in being with a woman who's so easily influenced. I feel that she's somewhere involved in her plan as well, lol. I would not be surprised even if it turns out to be true, as she is the same blood. Also, this morning I was going through all the updates and comments, and I just wanted to say thank you for understanding me and being so patient till here. I'm grateful. So guys, here's the update, right? When I tried talking to Sarah and told her about her mother and what she was planning, she refused to believe it. She simply said that I was letting her family's reputation down by saying all of this and that I should leave her already. She claimed that her mother would never do that to her and I was cooking up a story just for the sake of saving our marriage. Is she even serious right now? I literally talked to her lovable mom just a day or two ago, and now, at this point, I felt that I recorded her or something. That's what I should have done. Well, fine, whatever. While I was convincing her, I also got to know that Samantha had told her that she does not have to be afraid after her divorce, as she would be free from a toxic man like me. Yeah, right. I'm sure you all definitely know by now who's the toxic one. Well, this is what happened while I was trying to talk to Sarah, but unfortunately she does not have a brain of her own. So I let her go. At this point, I'm exhausted. Anyways, this is not what this update is really about completely. This is something else as well. So, you all remember when my mother-in-law mentioned a guy named Bob joining as the CEO of his father's company? Yeah, exactly, the rich guy to whom Sarah's probably gonna marry. So when I heard his name, it sounded really familiar. I mean, how many people are named Bob? While I was coming back from Samantha's place, I kept thinking about this guy, and guess what? I did a little research on old Bobby. You know, through social media, websites, and the interweb. And I even went through my university contacts, and there he was. I know it sounds a bit confusing, but let me break this down. Bob and I are old mates. Yeah, we're in high school together, and we actually were really good friends, and then we continued our bond as we even got into the same university. I looked him up, and it was exactly the same guy. It was all over the news that he was going to become the CEO of the company, so it was pretty easy to find him. We had lost touch after graduation, so initially I hesitated, but then I was furious and wanted to end Samantha's entire plan. The best part of all this is that evil Samantha does not even have a hint about me and Bob being old friends. So now I'm thinking of contacting my old buddy, and I'm gonna tell him everything. I'm still not sure about it. Do you think that I should just go ahead with the plan? Bob being in such a good position, do you think he'll believe me? Please, I beg you, let me know. Updates number 3. Good evening, everyone. I hope everything's fine. I'm back after 6 months, and Sarah and I are officially divorced now. This is my last update, and I'm going to be honest. I'd really forgotten about the update, but I was receiving a number of notifications on my telly, so here's what happened. First of all, thank you once again for all the support. So, as I mentioned, that Bob is a friend of mine from the same school and college, and when Samantha mentioned him, I immediately remembered. Yeah, so now I had to, reach him somehow, and I got his contact through one of my old university buddies. So on the same day, I call him up, and my luck, he immediately recognizes me. I ask him if we could meet up, as I have to tell him something very important. So, he invited me to his office and we met. I asked him if he knew Samantha and her daughter, Sarah, and he replied yes, that he did know them, as Samantha used to be his father's colleague at one point in time, and Sarah, as she had married me after our graduation. I told him what had been going on for the past few days, and he was equally surprised about it. Now I tell him the main reason why I asked him to meet. I ranted about Samantha's whereabouts and what she was up to, and she was going to get him married to Sarah, as she's been planning for a very long time, and Sarah has no clue about it. Well, he was beyond shocked and consoled me. After that, he came up with a plan, and I kid you not, guys, a very good plan indeed. So, he had a company meetup plan, like a proper social gathering where he would invite everyone, including Sarah's family. So, of course, that crappy woman was going to show up as money in her life, and she had to ask him out for my ex-wife. Now, the twist is that there was not aware that I was going to be present at the party as well. Anyways, on the day of the party, I saw Samantha reaching out for Bob again and again, but he did not listen to her. She asked him again to listen, but he just asked her to wait and went along with the other guest. When she finally got the opportunity to talk to Bob, she was immediately interrupted by him when he introduced his girlfriend/fiancé to everyone, and oh, the shock on her face. I'm never going to forget. Bob announced his engagement in front of everyone, and Samantha's evil plan came to an end. I could literally see her happiness and pride just vanish away from her face when the moment happened, and she looked as if she was going to pass out or something. All this time, dumb Sarah had no idea about anything that was going on. So Bob took the lead and explained things to her about what her mother's plan was, and she could not believe it. She confronted her mom about how she had said to her earlier, as when she got divorced, she would have nothing to be afraid of, so now what? She left the party alone that day, and Samantha left after it. I, of course, followed them along, and I could hear them bickering all the way to the car. Sarah was constantly humiliated and blamed all of it on her. That she had ruined her life, and now she has nothing left, no husband, nothing. She mentioned that she had lost me, and now she had nowhere to go. I saw Samantha breaking down that day, and honestly I felt really happy seeing her that way, as she deserved it. Well guys, 4 days after the incident, my phone kept buzzing with notifications of text messages and calls. I checked my phone, and yes, you guessed it right, it was from the evil mother and daughter duo. That is Sarah and Samantha. They vigorously kept reaching out to me, but I didn't even respond. They even showed up at my door and I didn't open it and pretended that I was not inside, so guess who's suffering now? I've decided to move on with my life, and now I honestly don't care about anything. Clearly, this marriage was not meant to be, and I think I'll be better off alone. I'm also grateful for this beautiful community who has supported me throughout and stayed till here. I'm moving to a different city next week and will start a new life there. Good night, everyone. Thank you for listening to me. But the question is, what would you have done?
I told you guys this was a crazy story, but we're going to check out some comments and then talk about it down below. The first one says, "Hey George, firstly, I'm so happy for you and you're finally free from such a toxic family. I'm really proud of you.
Glad that you updated us with everything, as I was waiting for you to update for such a long time. Also, what you did was entirely right no matter what anyone says, as what Samantha and Sarah put you through, you did not deserve that. I also think that even Bob is a great guy, as, how to genuinely he understood you. This is what a good friendship looks like. Anywho, I hope you're happy now, and the best of luck with your travels to different places. Please take care, buddy. See, that was a heartfelt comment. I love to add those in there, just because what's coming next is not so heartfelt. It's a commenter who does not agree with OP. Didn't agree with anything that OP did. Here it is. LOL. How convenient was it for Bob to believe you after all this time? You only reached out to him for your own selfish motives. A great move indeed, George. Moving to a new city won't ever clear the fact of whether you cheated or not. As for your ex-wife, Sarah, you could have easily forgiven her, as she was only manipulated by her mother. And as her daughter, she has the right to believe her, no matter what. But no. You've left her miserable. Men like you suck. Alright, I told you that comment was totally against OP, but maybe that commenter was right. Let me know what you think down below, guys. I love reading everybody's comments because I love seeing what you think about the stories. My name's Mr. Reddito, and if you're new to this channel, just know, I drop a story every day, and some of the stuff you will never expect. I mean, mother-in-law cheating dramas, inheritance dramas, Karen in the Wild stories, sister-in-law, brother-in-law feuds, wedding fiascos, wedding Karens. We even have bridezillas. I mean, the stories go on and on and on. Guys, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow, and of course, remember one thing, it's cool to be kind. Peace.